Heather, I don't know.
That was just such a crazy. Whew. What do you make of Lindsay Hubbard basically saying that her ex, that she has Gemma, her daughter, with, doesn't want Gemma anywhere on television, doesn't want her image on TV, doesn't want it on social media. Ugh, I could never be married to a guy like this. Well, they're not that they're married. They separated shortly after Gemma was born.
She did say that. Well, she said, look, public mommy, private daddy, what's the kid gonna be? She did say, I mean, I think our Lindsay Hubbard, again, Carol, we never predicted this. Sheena being the winner, we never predicted Lindsay just being the voice of reason. She says, I've learned I gotta pick and choose my battles. I want the kid, Gemma, on the TV. We'll get back to whether she's gonna be on the TV or not. I'm gonna be on the TV. But on social media, he doesn't want her face there. And you know what? Life is so complicated. I gotta pick my battles. One is just not worth it to me. Just let him have it. Lindsay Hubbard, right? Coming mature, right?
Look, she's a bigger woman than I am. That would be a hill that I would die on because,
Really? Okay.
well, I mean, I don't know. I don't put my son on social media a lot, but there's campaigns and things that yeah, people want to see like what your child is eating, playing with. I don't know. I'm a
Well,
big
she's doing it. Look, Cavalieri did it for so many years. Cavalieri, blurred out the faces. Now they're choosing social. Cavalieri always said, let them choose for themselves. Lindsay is doing the like, here I am with Gemma, but her head is just turned away or something's blocking. But what I thought was more interesting was the most self-righteous man on Bravo, Carl Radke. I mean,
ugh.
isn't he's so,
He
ugh.
thinks he's like honest God, he thinks he's the Brad Pitt. I actually have a mutual friend that knows him. He
Ugh.
thinks he's the Brad Pitt of of Bravo. Just like he thinks he's so important and so many people care and he's such a
Right.
star.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, darling.
Nobody cares. Well, Lindsay, I thought also had a good point. Carl said he really does hope that they could have a close friendship in the future. And Lindsay says she basically slams him. She's like, if this guy, she won't even mention his name, if this guy wants to be my friend, he needs to make amends for things that he has done in the past. I watched last season. You watched last season. We all watched last season. He continued to villainize me. He continued to talk about me. If you want to have a friendlier relationship, you should stop villainizing me and start, you should stop villainizing me and victimizing. You should stop villainizing me and stop victimizing yourself. Oh, so well put. She also said she's over Carl, no interest, but she probably will never get over the way he broke up with her. It was absolutely terrible. And those
Yeah.
two things are different. I could be over him. I do not want him back. But what he did to me, and she's like, it's a shitty thing to do to your fiance of 2 months. It's an even worse thing to do to your friend of almost a decade. And he publicly humiliated me on national television, and he dumped me at the altar. And I thought our friendship would take precedent over a reality show. It certainly didn't. He broke up with her on TV for the story. So
That sounds
I'm loving me some Lindsay Hubbard. I got to be honest with you.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. I like it
Right?
too. I like it too. Good for her. And like I said, she's a better woman than I am. I want my son to have a full YouTube channel, like the whole thing. I would have my kids making endless money. I'm just too busy.
Endless,
I'm
endless, endless,
And look,
endless.
a lot of people are with her ex. They're like, it's sick because now what's happening is they claim these child pedos are taking kids for like they'll just go on TikTok. They look for people. If your kid is up there a lot, they're now downloading that image, using your child's head and putting it on a kid's body and selling pornography. I'm sure
Wait,
that's
wait, wait. What?
so. A lot of parent advocacy groups tell you don't put pictures of your child online because if you have a lot of pictures of your kid, what's happening is these sick pedo rings international, whatever, are downloading those images of your kid's face. And then with AI, they're superimposing that child onto a child's body and selling pornography with it. So it's like
Because
you're
they have
getting
so
paid.
many pictures to choose from.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, that is pretty sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're saying is like the future of your kids' stuff. So if you're there, videos of your kids, all that they can be. And like your kids should never be shirtless, never in the bath. Like a lot of people put their pictures of their kids in the bathtub, but like pictures over their private area, but areas, but they say they can just even take that and then they superimpose images and things. So it's yeah. I mean, I get the reason to not put your kids on there. There's so many fucking sickos. It's like
Well,
people
that's
like can't find an 18-year-old that looks 12. I mean, that's legal. It's like seriously, you're that sick?
well,
A lot of them castrate them and hang them. It's like Brian
yeah.
Koberger. They should have never allowed him not to have the death penalty. They should have absolutely murdered him by firing squad.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Some of our listeners were very upset the last time we said that, but as we discussed last
Oh, I don't
show,
give
I
a
don't give a
fuck.
shit
I mean, you're
neither.
so sick. If you're sitting here defending people like Brian Koberger against, and people are like, well, they have the right to appeal on the death penalty and all this stuff. Well, that's bullshit in our
I
judicial.
agree with you. You
It's
take
very
four.
rare. You've been to many other countries. Saudi Arabia, you think you get endless appeals? I don't think so.
And
You're gone.
you and I had a lot of, we both thought Mangione should go and walk the plank, but
And he will.
lots of fans of Mangione out there.
Angionius. Luigi. It's not
Speaking of
looking good for, it's
which,
not going to be good for Luigi because unfortunately he kept a journal. And that's like all his fans that are like, oh, he's so hot and he did it for the right reasons. I look again,
I think he should be fried.
our
Um,
healthcare system needs a makeover, but that guy actually had the money and influence to do it without murdering somebody.
Guess what?
But
Since we're on the criminals
yeah.
section of
Oh,
our show,
sorry.
Miss Shaw, Shawshank Redemption, Miss
Ah,
Shaw,
too good.
in addition to Elizabeth Holmes, she has a new cellmate, or at least the prison has a new visitor. The one, the only Ghislaine Maxwell. She is now breathing and living at the high end camp. She went from the dirt trash to the high end camp in Texas with Elizabeth Holmes and Miss Shaw.
I call her Ghislaine, and Ghislaine's another one that should fry. Unfortunately, allegedly, but our
Oh,
current president and Bill Clinton and Bill Gates, a lot of people are on that list, unfortunately, that have a lot of money and a lot of influence. So that's
you
why the Democrats
think?
and Republicans are not going to release that list.
And then I read a
I think
fake
that's,
news story that Miss Maxwell, that Miss Shaw is disgusted with Miss Maxwell and said, "You will not attend the Shawmazing class of abs." This is true. I read
oh,
this
what
somewhere.
standard she
Yeah,
has.
I'm like, this is not, it's one of those where they say, like, Gia is kicked out of the school and Andy Cohn hates Gia and her classmates. There's so much fake shit going on out there. So that's not true. There's no, Shaw is not kicking her. First of all, Shaw would take any friend she
Oh,
could
yeah.
get.
Yeah, completely.
Shaw's coming home, girl. She's coming home. Do you
This
realize this?
fall, right? Is it this fall or one more year? Do you
Well,
think?
I knew a year from this fall, but
I bet it will be even sooner.
it keeps moving up now, doesn't it, honey? Doesn't that shit keep moving up on you? So, speaking of which, I mean, are the Chris, and he says there are so many shows coming. Oh, Todd is like, let me tell you something if you don't like me. It's kind of like what I say. It's like, let me tell you something. You're going to be seeing me in your worst dreams. We have 5 shows coming. Me and Julie, Airbnb. The kids are doing this. But the original show is back, and that